For the next portion of our group leader guide, we're going to go over ground rules for your group. And these ground rules exist to help you avoid conflict and maintain and produce a healthy group culture. So number one is advice giving. No unsolicited advice allowed, meaning that if someone starts to open up about a problem and then another group member or even you as the leader feels like you need to just share exactly what you think that person should do, prior to sharing advice, we need to be sure that that person's ready to receive that advice. So I would advise you as your group leader to say something along the lines of, I've had a similar experience, and if you're willing to hear my advice, I'd love to talk to you after group about what worked for me. And if they don't want to receive it, then that's okay. But our advice is just don't allow people to start saying, you need to, in a manner that could make that person feel offended or even feel disrespected. It's just encouraged that you ask before you give out your advice. So the next thing is conflict. We handle conflict in a biblical manner with grace, meaning that Matthew 18 instructs us to go to a person in private if we're offended and encourage your group members to do the same. So before they try to involve other members of the group, they should be dealing with an offense one-on-one. If they cannot handle it one-on-one, they can involve you as the group leader. And if they cannot handle it with you, the group leader, then at that point, you take it to church leadership, which would be letting me know what is going on. Meaning that sometimes there are issues that are bigger than you can handle or they can handle on their own. But I would say most of the time, we can handle group issues and offenses one-on-one as Matthew 18 instructs us. The biblical model for conflict is one-on-one, then involve a leader, and then involve church leadership. And if at that point it cannot be solved, we will talk more about how to move forward as a group. The next one is confidentiality. So what is said in the group stays in the group. If your group starts sharing outside of group what was said in the group, your group is not going to last very long because your group will become gossip and conflict is inevitable and people will no longer feel emotionally or spiritually safe to share within the group setting. So it's your job up front the very first week to tell people no sharing what is said in group outside of group. Now, the only caveat to this is if they ever talk about harming someone else or harming themselves, meaning if they are confessing to doing something very harmful, especially to a minor, you need to report that. You can report that yourself or to a leadership. But also, another form of that is if they're threatening to harm themselves, then that also needs to be shared with pastoral authority. In addition to that, be sure you're inviting new members. That's one way to create a healthy group culture. That's a rule, is always have an empty chair available for someone to come in who maybe is ready to grow and they just need a place to go. And that place that they go might be your group. The next thing is multiplication. This group, Spiritually Freed Parenting Group, should not end with Spiritually Freed Parenting Book. When the book ends, you need to consider how can we identify new leaders and produce more Spiritually Freed Parenting Groups and or continue on the group we've created with a new study. In addition to that, we want to encourage you. Everybody should participate in your group, but nobody should dominate your group. Meaning, if anybody decides that they're going to take over the conversation every single week, I encourage you, pull them aside outside of group and talk with them and let them know, hey, next time that we meet, I encourage you to consider maybe waiting before you respond, because I believe some of the other group members would like to answer the question first as well. And that's not to be offensive. It's just because some of us find it easier to answer than others. And you can even tell them that. You're so good at answering the questions. I just want other people to have the opportunity to answer as well. In addition to that, be sure you make attendance and preparation for the group a priority. As I said in a previous video, if you don't prepare, then you're not making it a priority, and therefore, if you're not spiritually growing, you can't facilitate a spiritually healthy group. In addition to that, we all need to be sure that we're respecting our group members the way we want to be respected. It goes right in line with the great commandment of loving the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and loving your neighbor as yourself. If you're taking the time to grow spiritually and you're respecting your group members, you're going to naturally see growth within your group. And the way that you can show respect to your group members is being sure that you're allowing each and every person the opportunity to share, to respond, and that you listen well to them And do your best to create a healthy group culture. And the last thing is support. Give everyone in the group the permission to call upon you and other group members in their times of need. So create a group text where people can share prayer requests. Create a way for group members to communicate with one another, and this can be done through Church Center. So I encourage you to utilize our Church Center app as much as possible for communications with your group, for group texting, for emailing your group, because this is a simple way for you to put all of those options for communications in one place. So instead of using GroupMe and many of the other apps that are available, Church Center does all of it in one central location. So encourage your group to use Church Center for communications. In addition to this, these are basic ground rules that can help you have a healthy group culture. So be sure you're considering each one of these and implementing them as you start your brand new Spiritually Freed Parenting group.